The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers nor Rogers TV.
Securing your recycling in a few steps is simple, like bundling your cardboard separately. These bundles can act as a lid for your blue box or placing heavier items such as magazines on top of papers with no material above the rim.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Politics. I'm Deborah Hutchison in the Rogers TV studio. Our guest this week is Scugog Mayor Bobbie Drew. We'd like to welcome Mayor Drew back to the show, who is joining us via Zoom. How are you?
I am fine and working out of the office today, which I guess our last few conversations have been from my home. So working out of the office today and happy to be back, even part-time in the office. So that's great. Nice to talk to you again.
Good to see you. Lots to talk about. Let's start, of course, with the recent COVID relief funding from the federal and provincial governments. How much was Scugog's share?
Well, we were very, very grateful to receive $528,900, and that will help cover the expenses that we had at that point, and the loss of significant loss of revenue. So yeah, we were very grateful to get that.
Is it enough? How will it help? How close will it be to filling the gap?
Well, at the point of time when we received it, it did help to pay for the expenses. The personal protective equipment, the signage, the additional washrooms, and the cancellation of the recreation programs was a significant loss of revenue for us, and a loss of investment income because of the lower interest rates. And so it really did help, and we look forward to considering some of the projects that we had to put aside, just to delay to make an assessment later. It gives us an opportunity now to look at those services and capital projects that we had to put aside. So it's all good news, and we'll hope for more of that going forward, because it is imperative for these small municipalities in particular to be compensated for the loss of revenue and the additional expenses.
You mentioned projects that you had to put on hold or put aside. What were some of those projects?
Well, there was some of the capital projects, roads that hadn't been tendered yet, and some of the other services. We had to even consider, the openings, and how we were going to be able to manage that. So yeah, we did put a number of things aside. So hopefully we'll be able to resurrect them.
Is it enough? I know a lot of municipalities have talked about, this is the phase one funding. Are you hoping for more?
Yes, of course, because additional expenses are continuing as we continue to open for phase three. And so there's significant loss of revenue as well, because phase three opening is going to be delayed, but also there have to be extra measures in place to reopen. So yeah, we will need more as we go along, and we're really, really hopeful that we get that, so that we can provide the services and do the projects that are so much needed in our municipality.
I've spoken with many mayors about the economic impact of COVID on their, the municipal coffers. Are you still looking at a potential deficit? Is a tax increase inevitable?
No, we're not looking at a deficit. Immediately when the state of emergency was announced, we took measures to, first of all, track our expenses, but have a look at how we could save money and how we could keep people working, provide all the services that we can, and we did. So we redeployed staff from recreation and parks. We redeployed staff to recreation and parks. We delayed hiring some vacant positions. By going to redeploying, we did not need to have seasonal positions in parks. So that helped offset the costs of the whole situation. So we were very, very quick to react and track those expenses and make those changes so that there was the least impact on the municipality as we could make it.
So of course we're now in stage 3. Openings continue very slowly. The Scugog Community Recreation Center, we recently announced details on its opening. Let's talk a bit about that and how that is going to work.
Yes, well, the Scugog Community Recreation Center, once we entered into phase 3, opened for day camps and with strict controls and spacing. And it was an emergency cooling center, and we did open it for special use for the blood donor clinic. So come the middle of September, we're going to be putting the ice in, and it will be the 2 pads will be available for skating, for hockey, and so on. There's numerous safety precautions in place. We've worked all that through with the regulations and the emergency measures that we have to keep in place, and we've worked with our teams, our user groups. So we hope to open on September the 15th for this activity. And the 21st, there's a number of other things that are going to be opening. The recreation center will be open for pickleball, again with restrictions. The Lookout, which is the youth center at the Scugog Recreation Center, that will be open. Masks have to be worn, and a maximum of 10 people. In there. So that's quite exciting. And then come October, we'll be looking at the demand for ice time and whether we can open the Blackstock Recreation Center for hockey and activities. So, and then our halls will be opening as well, again with strict regulations that have to be followed. And as a matter of fact, all user groups and teams have to abide by all of the rules and regulations, and they have to provide us their plans as well as their plans. Different organizations like hockey have developed plans from their associations. So we're putting all that together and make sure that whatever we do, whatever openings we have, is going to be done safely.
And of course, your updates are available to look at any time online, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I urge everyone to check our website to get the most up-to-date information.
Of course, though, one of the casualties of COVID, another casualty has been the Scugog Sports Hall of Fame ceremony for 2020.
Yes. We just had it announced that that will be canceled for 2020. We look forward to an exciting and bigger and better next year. So far, that's in the offing. So that will be great. Yes, but it is a huge disappointment. But we have to make those decisions with enough time for people to make their plans. So people come from quite a distance sometimes, and so plans may have been started, or hopefully we canceled it before anything major in the way of planning has been done. So
I want to ask you about how busy your bylaw officers have been responding to complaints of overcrowding or people not following the rules. How busy have they been? Or are they getting with the program, and are they following the rules?
Well, at first they were very busy because the restrictions were so tight, and people were not always as aware as they could have been. And so they were very, very busy, especially in stage one. And then people started getting the message. As you know, we're a tourist destination, and although the message has been getting out very clearly from Scugog Township with our communications department, that's maybe not reaching some of our tourists. So they were getting the message. And so as time went on, it was a little less stressful for our bylaw officers, but they worked very, very hard. And they were so pleasant to people. And for the most part, most people were very pleasant and apologetic that they had maybe broken the rules or were bending them, certainly. And we took measures on our the piers and all the waterfront there to make sure that people were safe, including our boaters and our swimmers, because the fishermen were getting a little too close to the boat launches, and so we took measures to make that safer as well.
Yeah, you mentioned you are a tourist destination, and when people are, I guess, trying to get some, relief from all this confinement, they're going to go to the water. They're going to go to your waterfront. They're going to go to the pier. You're right. They're going to fish, and you are a beacon for people from all over.
Yes, we're a destination, and it has caused us some problems, but it seems sometimes in our parks, especially the waterfront parks, that they were really, really crowded, even lately. But when you look at the crowds, you realize that they are in small groups, probably family groups or their own bubbles. So you have to take that into context as well. I know people get a little panicky when they see lots of people in the park, but I've noticed that myself, that it is small groups, and probably families.
Just multiple small groups.
Yes.
Of families or people in the bubble. We've only got about a minute before we have to go to break, but I want to start the conversation on your business and your downtown, and how are they rebounding?
Yes, some merchants have taken the challenge and turned it into an opportunity. They've been very resourceful in using social media, having front door pickups, deliveries, takeout for the restaurants. So it depends on the type of business. Now, apparently, I'm hearing that pizza places are doing very well, and that stands to reason, because people are staying at home and they're vacationing at home. So they're doing very well. And some of our restaurants, I guess most of our restaurants, have really been resourceful in their patios, in their takeout. So I think they're paying the bills, I would say.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. We have to go to a quick break. Okay. We'll continue our conversation with Scugog Mayor Bobbie Drew after this.
Securing your recycling in a few steps is simple, like crushing your cans and bottles down in your container's blue box and your box board down in your papers box. This saves a lot of space and reduces the possibility of material blowing out of your blue box on windy days.
Family, it's just extremely important. People move around. Connected for Success has just made it so much easier. For the longest time, I was on cloud nine. It connects you to family. It connects you to the outside world, and it makes you feel connected to the community. It was a whole new experience. You realize then how much you missed out. In fact, connect is my favorite word now. I love that word. It keeps me out of trouble.
As a Senior Support Coordinator at Durham Regional Police, I have the privilege of working with seniors and the organizations that serve them. Join me, Sergeant Deborah Anderton, along with Constable Daryl Rice on Seniors Talk, as we put the spotlight on the issues that matter most to seniors and their families. Safety, wellness, and family responsibilities are just some of the challenges that we'll tackle on Seniors Talk, only on Rogers TV.
Did you miss us? We sure missed you here at the Knights of Columbus. Our TV bingo is starting back up again, Tuesday, September 8th at 7 p.m. for your chance to win $5,000 and get rid of those COVID blues, right here on Rogers TV.
We are back on Talk Politics. Our guest this week is Scugog Mayor Bobbie Drew, who joins us via Zoom. Mayor Drew, when we're going to break, we were talking about businesses and how they are rebounding. And you said, for the most part, the restaurants, pizza places, they've at least been able to pay the bills. But that probably hasn't been the case for every business.
Yes, that's true. Some of it, like our donut shops and all of that, they're probably doing well. Our bakery they've always got lineups outside. The butcher on Queen Street in Port Perry has always got a lineup outside. So they're paying the bills. Now other stores that depend on people dropping in and browsing, they're suffering. I would say, you can shop online. Some of the stores have shopping online, and as time goes on, they're getting more and more innovative and resourceful about how to improve business under these conditions. So, and the important thing is for us to shop local. Everything you need can be found in Scugog Township. I'm convinced, because I certainly haven't been shopping anywhere else in 6 months. So, and I'm not doing without. So, we can get anything we want in Scugog Township, and I encourage everyone to continue to shop locally. It is so important to our businesses. And, if we have a dead main street or main streets in any of our hamlets, it's not good for the sustainability of Scugog Township. So it's important, very important.
So is that the main point as to what must happen for your community to rebound? Is people just staying there and shopping local?
I'm convinced of that, yes.
Any word on businesses that you've lost? I mean, we hear every day that, I know in Toronto, these cornerstones of business are just saying goodbye. Has that been the case of any business in Scugog?
There was one business that closed, but they retired. We've had new businesses open. The cheese shop, a furniture store is ready to open. Men's store is newly opened, all during the pandemic. So at this point, there's one store that is going out of business. I'm not sure if it's because of COVID, but I know that there is a similar business, almost exactly the same, going into the same spot. So, and that's a huge piece of real estate. So that's good news. So no, I haven't heard of any. None come to mind right now, which is really, really good news, because I have now that things have opened up a little bit, I have gone out of town, just mooching around looking, and that's not the case for other areas, and that's very sad.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on with some other items here. Durham is calling for water restrictions as they work on the Port Perry water tower.
That's correct. Yes, we're asking everybody to just be careful with their water use, and that is between September the 4th and the 28th. So they're doing some work on the standpipe just west of Port Perry High School. And so restrictions are necessary. So please be very careful. And thankfully, we've had a little bit of rain, and hopefully people will stop watering their lawns as we enter into the fall season. And, just be careful. Shorten those showers and so on. Make sure your laundry tub is, your washing machine is full before you operate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, when we talk about the Scugog waterfront, of course, algae is inevitable as the summer, draws out. but there's been some green-blue algae reported.
Yes, that's a naturally occurring toxic item that we see nearly every year, and more so with these hot summers. So, yeah, our Kinsman Beach is closed. The rest of the lake is safe. Just be aware that do not play or ingest, or don't have your pets go into any water that is discolored. If there's any foam, scum, or mats of algae, make sure you stay away from that. Don't eat fish. Don't fish there. But it's basically contained to Kinsman Beach, and it will be closed for the rest of the summer. So yes, the rest of the lake is safe and open, and I encourage everyone to continue with their boating and their swimming, and using the marina and the boat launches and the piers. Everything is safe other than that Kinsman Beach.
Well, and let's hope that we've had such a hot summer, and it's been weather-wise such a great summer. Let's hope that continues into the fall so that people can continue to, I guess, make use of Lake Scugog.
Absolutely.
Let's also talk about your 2020 Scugog Youth Initiatives. Your submission date has been extended. Explain who this initiative is for and what it's all about.
Well, we have the For Scugog charity golf tournament every year. Now, we've had to cancel it this year for obvious reasons, and we did that early in the spring. For obvious reasons. So yeah, we didn't want to impose on our businesses for sponsorships and so on. However, we do have some money. We always keep some back to start out the next tournament, and for situations like this. But so it's recognized youth groups within the township that are the beneficiaries of this money, and they apply. And it's like our local skating clubs and hockey, minor ball, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Precious Minds. The Green Bank Puppeteers were the recipients, and so it just helps them along, and they apply every year, and we're happy to do it. As a matter of fact, since 2004. We have given out $185,000 we've raised for.
That's incredible.
Initiatives, yes, youth initiatives.
So the submission date has been extended till when?
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm sorry, I'll have to look that one up. But
okay, you know what? All this information is online. Everybody can check it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Let's also talk about the regional cycling plan. There were a couple of opportunities for residents up in Scugog to have their say. What is the region looking at in regards to a cycling plan?
Well, they're looking at a transportation master plan right now, and we are ready to present the active transportation plan and transportation master plan for Scugog this fall. And we're going to align those two together and come up with a plan that will provide for a progressive transportation system and enhancing the mobility in the township of Scugog through active transportation and ensuring that there is safe and efficient and sustainable movement of people and goods and the farmers' goods. To the plan is extended to 2031 and beyond. So we're going to meld those two together, and that was really beneficial to do that. It's always beneficial to work together, so you don't have to do things twice. So yes, that's quite exciting, and we'll look forward to seeing this unfold.
I guess, and I also want to ask you about you had a pedestrian pilot project for your downtown area that has come to an end. So basically, for a while there was no motor vehicle traffic. It was for pedestrians only. How did that work out?
Well, from the purpose of this whole project was to allow for safe physical distancing As we said before, we are a tourist destination, and weekends are particularly busy. And the sidewalks it was impossible on the weekends to physically distance it. So people were walking out on the road sometime to avoid other people. So we developed this plan with the BIA. And the BIA finalized and made their decision to go ahead with it, or their blessing to go ahead with it in mid-July. So we worked quickly to get things in place, and we opened up the 24th July weekend, and which happened to be my birthday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. So anyway, it was very successful. A survey that was conducted indicated that people felt safe and comfortable walking downtown. So from that perspective, it was very successful. We were encouraging the BIA, the merchants on Queen Street, to open earlier in conjunction with the farmers market that opened at 8 o'clock. We encouraged them to do that. Some did. And not at 8 o'clock, but some did open earlier, and we encouraged them to beautify their premises and put tables out with their wares, so from that perspective of physical distancing, it was very successful. The BIA had they initially agreed to 4 weeks, and the BIA had a meeting, and they had their own survey, and some merchants felt that they lost business throughout this process. Some felt that they did not. Some gained business, and some did not have an opinion on whether business improved or not. The long and the short of it is they decided, the BIA decided that they did not wish to continue the project for the rest of the summer. So that gives us an opportunity to compare the last few weekends of the summer to the 4 weekends that we had closed to traffic and open only to pedestrians. So it was called an Open Streets project, and we learned a lot from the pilot, and we'll have more input from the BIA, and hopefully sometime in the future we will revisit this and make some improvements. If we'd had more time, we could have beautified it a lot more. It with the fencing that we had to use, it wasn't as attractive as it could have been. But as I say, with more time and more planning, hopefully we can revisit this sometime in the future, because it was very popular.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop you there. We are out of time. Scugog Mayor Bobbie Drew, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks to you, our viewers. Until next time, I'm Deborah Hutchison. Stay safe, everyone.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
For Sir George Etienne Cartier, the work of uniting Canada was as vast as the country itself. First, he won over Quebec.
Union is the only way forward.
No, Monsieur Cartier. Confederation will cost French Canadians their nationality.
Monsieur, together we will form a political nationality independent of our origins.
Diversity will be Canada's strength.
Then he fought for Manitoba.
The Northwest has formed a government under Louis Riel. We will not join Confederation unless our rights are respected.
So you want a new province? Then you'll have it. There will be a place for your people in Canada.
He envisioned a country from Atlantic to Pacific.
British Columbia won't even think of joining Canada without a wagon road through the Rockies.
Ask for a railway. We are building a country, after all.
Bold as a lion, Confederation could not have happened but for him. Du Canada, son pays, ses amours.